We talked a lot about the Olympia School District, which has become kind of a poster child for woke gone wild in our public education system. We did an exclusive report last week about this crazy sex ed lesson taught to fourth and fifth graders by a representative from Planned Parenthood. Anyway, I am so thrilled to report that after all the backlash over the things this school district has done, they seem like they're back on track. They seem like they got the message, and now they're going to focus on the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, preparing your child for life out in the world, a higher education. We've reviewed a couple of their recent meetings, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. Now, with one notable exception, I will say at the beginning of one of these meetings, they decided to read a Pride Month declaration. Now, that's okay. I mean, I understand that they need to make sure that everyone in the community and parents and teachers know that they will be celebrating and reflecting on Pride Month in Olympia Public Schools. So we'll give them this one. Here they go.
We will now have a proclamation for Pride Month for June 2023. The Olympia School District Board of Directors of Olympia School District number 111, Thurston County, Olympia, Washington, do declare support for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, and agender LGBTQIA students, families, and staff. Whereas our students, families, and staff have the right to be treated consistent with their gender identity and sexual orientation at school. And whereas the LGBTQIA plus students report higher rates of being bullied or harassed at school, resulting in higher rates of dropout, academic failure, and disengagement. And whereas LGBTQIA plus students in the Olympia School District are bright, brilliant youth who are engaged in self and social liberation in spite of this bullying and harassment, and be it further resolved that the board calls on district staff to teach with the resources and engage in professional learning that further journey toward gender inclusive schools during the month of June and all year long.
So we can let them get that out of their system. Their proclamation, 2 pages long, also includes the whereas our students have the right to engage in reflection and honest conversations in school communities of issues of social justice, equity, and the intersectionality of oppression and discrimination. So yeah, again, okay, they're still, they're learning. At least they're making an effort though, because I'll tell you, after that Pride Month declaration, they had a 3-hour meeting focused only on the issue of education. Listen.
There are not a lot of school districts that sit down and publicly walk through and talk through racial disproportionality in discipline rates and graduation rates, and think about what are the impacts of trans and queer exclusion in the classroom. And we're having those conversations. That's how we create the discomfort that Director Flores is talking about, where we grow.
We are lucky we live in Washington State, where we have even more expansive civil rights laws than the federal law, including the rights of gender identity expression, transgender youth. I spent a little bit of time downtown on Saturday at our celebration for our trans flag crosswalk.
It's important to practice shutting up and listening when our students speak and tell us the direction we need to go in terms of being more inclusive. Being maximally inclusive, being a district of celebration and liberation for all of our students. I don't want this to be negotiable. Like, we're going to negotiate whether or not we're going to provide a transgender student their rights. That's not negotiable. On the very first slide, you get a visceral negative reaction out of me by saying broken families on that. I don't think that is actually a culturally responsive phrase to refer to single parent families. Something might seem neutral on its face, but it actually has a disparate impact based on poverty or race or any of those different types of demographics. There's some messaging out there where people are acting like this is a debate. And I'm like, no, civil rights is not a debate. People are allowed to have their civil rights in public schools. So sorry, is that a vote?
Okay, all right. Maybe that 3-hour meeting got a little bit off the rails, but I tell you what, they are really trying. They're really trying to recenter on what public schools should be about, the basics of teaching kids in the basic areas. And that's why at another recent meeting, they had an awards ceremony for teachers, for only the best of the best teachers in the school district who are there doing what they should be doing, which is, again, giving your child a proper education. Here's one of the award recipients.
It is my privilege to open tonight's recognition of employees from throughout the district who have been selected as honored recipients of our 2023 Olympia School District Employee Recognition Awards. And I'd like to call forward our Executive Director of Human Resources, Mr. Scott Neiman, to introduce our most deserving honorees.
Tonight, we honor and celebrate those who represent our collective best. Let's begin with our first recognition, the Champion of Differences, which celebrates diversity. This year's winner is Deborah Need, ELA teacher at Reeves Middle School.
So Deborah engages in multiple professional development opportunities to make her classroom and grading more equitable. Her slam poetry work with students this year helped them create moving poetry about their experiences with discrimination and injustice. She has been on our equity committee for years now and continues to help develop school-wide SEL curriculum that gives students space to discuss identity, diversity, inclusion, and injustice. She provides our staff with reading materials about equity and about being anti-racist, which helps us grow as a whole building. Last year, she voiced a concern about our systemic approach to supporting students. This year, we developed a new student support team model based on a tracking device that Deborah and another teacher created outside of their workday.
Okay, all right. So maybe they're not fully focused on the basics of public education, but they had to award that teacher. She's working on anti-racist curriculum on her free time. The dedication shown by that fine educator. Now, I will say, in case you think that I fooled you by saying that the Olympia School District is back to focusing on and celebrating a quality education, they did take time to congratulate the hardworking, dedicated students who are going to be graduating soon.
Graduation seems to be a really great time for many, many students, but for some students, it's really not. It's a really difficult time because either they didn't get to graduate, or maybe they didn't graduate with the grade point average that they would like to, or maybe they feel a little bit left behind because they're not a straight A student, they're a straight C student, but you know what, you still get your diploma. And so I think it's just really important that we hold up these students and make sure that they are recognized and know that they are worth so much more than just a piece of paper. And I think that's really, really important.
So if a kid didn't work hard enough, no, that's not on them.
What?
They weren't taught to work hard enough to get A's. The mouse pad covering your face.
I have nothing. Oh, now my makeup. Okay, I'm sorry. No, we will keep hoping for the best for the Olympics.
You held it together pretty well for the first three.
I have snot coming out my mouth.
Why I can't? What do you want me to do? Take the camera off of you?
Okay. Godspeed to those Olympia School District graduates. You're gonna need it. I don't think something tells me you're not prepared for the real world. Okay. All right. Oh, good. We're good.